news coming from Samsung. Samsung presses ahead with central bank digital currency technology. Uh, we just had our Governor DeSantis, push out I would say directive, a law. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he signed a bill into law, basically outlawing CBDCs in Florida. Now, to me, it's like I don't know who you're trying to appease. Again, I know with the election coming up, you want to get various groups of people, various groups of demographics. But in this case, Samsung is way ahead of the curve here. Their projections for their technology are more than half a decade out. So to outlaw central bank digital currency out of the state just makes you look stupid because now we're behind for until it's either vetoed or someone else comes in and just does away with it. But as of right now, we're going to be behind, the race. Texas is trying to come out with their own gold-backed central bank digital currency. The state of Texas is trying to do that. You're telling me our governor, Governor DeSantis outlawed it, central bank digital currency to be used in Florida. I may not agree with the state of the dollar, where it's going, and I'm not going to necessarily talk on it, but we all know that the central bank digital currency is in the talks. It could be in our future, and to limit the state from these types of transactions, I don't know if that's really protecting us, because unless Florida is going to come out with Texas and say we're going to have our own digital bank currency, it just doesn't make sense. That's like outlawing the smartphone, and we have to go back to the Nokia brick phones with no type of data because you want to protect Florida citizens from data breaches, and you care about data privacy, so you outlaw smartphones. It just seems backwards. And like I said, obviously he's trying to appease different groups, he's trying to appease different minorities, he's trying to round up as many people, as many groups from different corners of the voter ballots possible. That way he can come out on top. Samsung, like I said, is well ahead of the curve. So the fact that they're already playing this type of technology means that the system is already in place, and Samsung is working. And we should see Apple follow suit. We should see Apple follow suit, I would say, within the next year or so with the same type of technology. It would just make sense, because if it's already going to be commercialized, then that system would have to already be in place for Samsung to build their technology around it, if that makes sense. So just like the social credit score, everyone says, it's not going to come, or it may come, it will come. Eventually it will happen. But before that happens, the system for the credit score has to be implemented, the actual framework of it. So the social credit score in the United States will never happen until that framework is laid out first. So just like that, the central bank digital currency for the United States, the framework is already laid out. And this article tells us, because it clearly says Samsung presses ahead with central bank digital currency technology. So it's a technology that can work off of the framework. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Apple will follow suit. Let me know if you think DeSantis is an idiot. Let me know what you think all around. I mean, we've covered a variety of articles today, but this one here is all telling. It tells us that the central bank digital currency framework exists, and they're ready for technologies. They're ready for companies like Apple and Samsung and other big players, even maybe Roku, to build their technology for the central bank digital currency around what's already present. So we all, people say, and I used to say, hey, we have until 2025, we have until 2030. We might have until 2024. You know, if Samsung is telling us now that they're pressing ahead with the current technology, does that mean the phone? Does that mean the chip? Does that mean the BIOS? What does that mean? Whatever that means, it means that piece of technology is communicating with the CBDC framework. I won't be surprised if I see Apple follow suit within a year. I won't be surprised if within the next year and a half, I would say by 2024 Christmas, we get some type of new device, new frameworking device that can reach the CBDC framework. I'll have to follow up with this. I'll reach out with Apple and see if they're also pressing with CBDC technologies. But if Samsung's coming out with this, then it's only going to make them a target in the race.